Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy, Avoran Spice. We're back at again with another podcast of the catch-up, of course. And, of course, we know the season is done, but the show still continues throughout the rest until the season starts again because we've got transfer news to talk about. So many things to talk about. As you can see in the title, Cunha transfer is now being agreed and confirmed. Manchester United confirmed it yesterday. Wolverhampton confirmed it. I'm sorry, I'm about to say Bruno Fernandes. I meant to say Fabrizio Romano himself confirmed it yesterday. Manchester United confirmed it on their website that Cunha is the next person in. And of course, we'll talk about Bruno Fernandes' future, the season review, and of course, buy, keep, or sell. And then we've just got news about Mbeumo from Olstein, so we'll discuss that. In the background, we've got Jerome in the background today, just me and Jerome holding the show up, which he couldn't make it due to father duties as well. Although hopefully he might join, but he's also doing another show on the radio. It depends on the time he gets home. Hopefully he can join us. But Jerome, how are you, my brother?
Yeah, man, I'm all good. Had a nice weekend. Enjoyed the sun. Glad the season's over, as you said.
Yes.
And yeah, it's good to be back after missing last week with a bank holiday. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what this summer brings for United because yeah, we've had a abysmal season. So now we can just recharge and just have a break from the madness of what happened last season, to be honest.
I'm telling you, man. I know you deserve that break as well, man. You've had 100% appearances. You probably have the Maserati. You're probably the Maserati in our podcast. And forever present, played the most games, had the most minutes. Yeah. You only deserve some.
It's true. Oh, it's far.
There, big up one.
Yeah, I think it froze a bit.
Yeah, I should be back now. Yes. One done. MUFC says breaking news. Of course, I've just put it in the group chat about Mbeumo. We'll talk about Mbeumo later on in the show as well. David Olstein just slapped a banger. Mbeumo, we've got another one coming in. Mbeumo's interested. But let's talk about, of course, the first thing. Matheus Cunha. As for those who don't know, Manchester United confirmed Matheus Cunha's transfer. He will be joining us, subject to visa and, of course, registration. To me, I'm assuming that because Manchester United don't want to include him in this current squad, which means it will affect their financial readings. to include to include Cunha as part of their finance. I'm assuming in July, when it's a new season, new financial year for the football, that's when they will include him. I think that's what they're saying, subject to his registration and visa. But it is what it is, man. Cunha signed till 2031. Apparently, it's a parachute payment for the minimum release clause that was met, 62.5 million, to be spread over across 5 payments, where Wolves himself asks for 2 payments, as it stated in his minimum release clause. But Manchester United, I keep on saying, we're finding ways to stretch that money to make things work. It's broke FC at the moment, make or break, penny pinching wherever we can find any pennies to pinch and save. Thoughts on Cunha joining before I give you my thoughts, man? It's complete now. Obviously, we're just waiting for him to have his first press conference or interview and the shirt being held. But that will only wait until July. Your thoughts on Cunha, Jerome?
Yeah, I can't lie. I'm delighted with the Cunha signing because, to be honest, after the Europa League final, I thought he might change his mind. I thought, I ain't coming to this shit. But I'm glad to see that he's coming to the club, not because of where we are in terms of league positions and like the state of the playing squad. He's come there because he's actually a true United fan and he's always dreamed of playing for United. So we need players like that have got that drive and hunger and desire to actually come and play for the club and not just come for the money. And not even just that, having seen him at Wolves for the last 2 seasons, he's a player with real quality, especially in that number 10 position, but we've been dying for a proper number 10 to come in and dictate play, take risks, create chances, score goals. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the team. And obviously, we don't know if Casemiro is going to stay, but also you've got that little Brazilian connection as well. So that would help. And I'm sure Cas would have given him some positive feedback on the club as well. And he's coming in at a right age, 26, so he's just approaching his prime. And as Ralph said, we need to bring in players that are ready to come in to take the next step in their career. And I think that's what he's going to come in and do. So he's still got gears to go up in. So hopefully he comes in, hits the ground running and improves and gets us scoring goals and creating chances. Because at the moment, our squad's lacking in firepower. So hopefully he could bring some creativity in our team. So all in all, I can't complain. I think the £62.5 million release clause, I think that's a good deal for United. Lucky that there was a release clause, because if it wasn't, I think Wolves would have asked for more money, probably 80 or 90 mil.
Yes.
So it was good that he's chosen us. And I know when you said that United tried to negotiate paying in 5 installments, but I guess if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think they agreed on 3 installments in the end to be paid over 2 seasons, which is fair enough. Because like I said, it gives us scope for other signings, especially when we're trying to be in line with the financial fair play regulations. So yeah, all in all, I'm delighted, and I hope we keep the momentum going because we announced it on the first day of the transfer window. I haven't seen the news on the Mbeumo stuff yet, but hopefully we start these incomings coming in at a good pace and clear out the dead wood at the same time, because this window is a very critical window for us for our long-term future. Because apart from last season where I thought the window was okay, we've been moving too slow and overpaying and panic buying. So hopefully now we've been focusing over the last 6 months of who we need to bring in, and hopefully we can work more efficiently when it comes to bringing in players and getting rid of the dead wood.
I'm 100%. Do you know one thing I like about this current situation of Manchester United? They announced that deal as soon as the Champions League and final was done the very next day, to show that, in my opinion, they mean business. They're probably telling us, Manchester United fans, I know we've said it so many times that we're going to do a rebuild, and that last summer was an important summer, and the summer before that they said the same thing. It was very important. But now they're actually showing them that they actually do mean business. I don't know whether you feel the same way that I feel, because Manchester United have never signed anyone the first day of June. You know, the first day of June, as soon as the transfer window is open. And I've never seen Manchester United try and negotiate deals in April and in May. So they're being proactive. This is not a Manchester United being reactive, because Manchester United are not waiting for players to leave before they bring their players in. They already know who's going to leave. So I like the fact that they've actually being proactive by signing someone like Cunha to bring him straight in. And of course, as you can see on the news right now, David Ornstein just dropped a bomb about Mbeumo. We'll talk about Mbeumo later on. But you look at Cunha's stats this season: 33 games for Wolves, 15 goals so far for playing for a team that was technically in a relegation battle, but eventually finished off level on points with us because, of course, they were struggling at the start of the season until they changed their manager. And I know Ems is in the chat probably saying, yeah, look at that. Yeah, Wolves changed their manager and he implemented the style. Why can't Amorim do that? It's not the same club. It's not the same setup. It's just different, man. It's not the same. But I'm happy Cunha is a good player. A good player, one of the best players in the Premier League for this campaign, this season, and has scored magical numbers for Wolves, who's been struggling. 15 goals says a lot for a club that's been struggling for form, for wins, for etc. But against us, Cunha himself has been instrumental. He's caused us headaches. No wonder why Manchester United himself went for him. A player that can I've watched his videos. Most of his goals are from outside the box. He creates his own goals. He hasn't really scored that much penalties out of those 15, 16 goals that he scored this season. Very skillful, direct as well. Shoots from outside the box, can link up play and assist as well. So I feel like it's going to be a player. If a certain player decides to stay, we'll enjoy it if he can find him. But the most important thing for me, Jerome, is there's no point of having Cunha if that midfield can't find him. That midfield needs a sat-nav.
Yeah, definitely.
It needs a sat-nav navigator that can find people and find the postcode of where these players will be on the pitch and direct the ball directly to them, An orchestrator is needed, an anchor is needed, a playmaker is needed. So many things that's needed in that midfield for Manchester United to actually progress with the attack because, as you know, Jerome, we know that a lot of attackers are leaving Manchester United. You've got Sancho leaving, potentially. Marcus Rashford, Manchester United don't want him 40 million. They put a price tag on him. We've got Rasmus Højlund. We've got news on him as well. Fabrizio Romano, I put it in the group as well. There's a lot of things to talk about. Yeah. It's crazy.
Anthony
I don't even think we can cover it.
Yeah,
Anthony might go as well. He's had an impressive second spell of the season alone to Real Betis, where they lost the final of the Conference League. But I'm hoping that another club, and we know that Betis won't be able to pull out the money, like 40 million to buy him, because they don't spend that much. But we're hoping that what he's done at Betis will encourage another suitor to buy him. I'm still surprised that there's suitors for Rasmus Højlund, bro, because I feel like, what are they looking at? But thank you if you're looking at him and you're going to take him off your hands. Continue to do whatever you're taking, whatever drugs you're taking, continue taking that drugs until you buy him. Don't stop taking that drug until you buy him. That's all I've got to say to the club. But pretty much pleased with the Cunha deal. I'm happy that it's out the way. And we can move on to our next one. But again, we're going to talk about the next one later on. But let's talk about another player that's been mentioned for a transfer exit out of Manchester United. And it's a 50-50 one for those who love him, those who don't, which is Bruno Fernandes himself. He's been linked to leave Manchester United to go to Saudi Pro League. Of course, if it's Al Ittihad or Al Ittihad, the team that was wanted. I can't remember. What the Saudi Pro team who wants Bruno Fernandes, who's been seriously chasing Bruno Fernandes. And this is not the first time we've heard the news. We was hearing this news before the season ended, and they're seriously considering him as a main target, their prime number one target, their marquee signing, in order for them to just get Bruno Fernandes so they can play in the Club World Cup. I think it's Al Ittihad, whatever their name is. Looking to offer about £80 million, offering 725,000 a week for Bruno Fernandes on a 3-year deal, which is about 25 million a season. And people are telling him 30 years old, Manchester United will be crazy to reject that because they won't get that in the next couple of seasons. Bruno Fernandes sending cryptic messages on the weekend, and we're there thinking, should he stay or should he go? Your thoughts on Bruno Fernandes? Should he stay? Or should we sell him, Because at the end of the day, Manchester United have retreated. I mean, always reinstated and meant that and said that they want Bruno to stay. He's not for sale, but this could be tactical deploys just for them to increase the fee. You just never know. Bruno as well. His agent was seen on the weekend in Paris or in England, wherever, Dubai, speaking to the representative. And again, on the Saturday, news came out that Bruno's seriously considering leaving Manchester United and considering this offer. What's your stand on Bruno Fernandes? Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? Or do you want him to leave?
I know this Bruno in and out saga. I know it divides opinion, but mine is firmly set on Bruno needing to leave so that we can rebuild the club and start again afresh. Because we've seen that obviously Bruno, he's worked hard and he's been a great servant for the club. But when we've been in the league position that we've been in and we've struggled for consistency, even if he's our best player, it just shows that we need to make sacrifices and big changes in the team in order to move forward. And he's going to be 31 later this year. And if Saudi are offering you crazy money, 80 to 100 mil, then you'll be silly as a club to not accept that. Because like you said, if he doesn't accept this deal now, he's going to be older. He's going to probably be less effective as he ages. And Saudi will probably move on to another player that's up and coming. And then we'll be stuck with Bruno, an aging Bruno, and we won't be going anywhere because we're not going to be challenging for leagues anytime soon. So it makes sense to look at the option of selling Bruno so that we can build for the future. Because if Bruno does stay, what's he going to be playing? What's he going to be fighting for? It's not going to be the titles. Maybe a cup run, Carabao Cup or FA Cup, which he's already won already. And we're not doing nothing in the league. Hopefully try and fight for the top 6. And we're going to be playing one game a week as well, no Europe. So it's like, where's the motivation? He's not going to be there by the time the new stadium gets built if that goes through in the next 5 years. So if I was him, from a professional viewpoint and a financial viewpoint, I would accept the offer from Saudi and get the bag, secure your future, tax-free money, and try and win the Saudi league. Because you're going to win the Premier League. That's what I'm saying. If you want to retire and have a league title on your CV, then go to Saudi and see what you can do there. But he's been here since 2020, I think, just over 5 years. And in all honesty, I know people keep saying, yeah, Bruno's our best player, he's important, this and that, but he's been part of probably our worst errors in the Premier League. He captained us to 8th place and captained us to 15th place, and we've had some really embarrassing defeats across the Premier League and in Europe. And he's been a big part of that because he's been ever-present in the team. So it's almost like we're doing up insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. So that's why I think that we need to make major changes in that team and sacrifice the captain for the greater good of the team. But as I said, he's worked hard and he's done his best. But I don't honestly think he even fits into Amorim's system anyway. It's almost like he's just being shoehorned in just to be there because he's the captain. But in all honesty, when we see him play, he'll get you the GAs in the games that don't matter. When it comes to the crunch, he's not performing, and that's where it's costing us. So we just need to get someone in that plays the game a bit more simpler, is a bit more disciplined in the middle of the park, and help us progress the ball and retain possession. Because at the moment, it's just unstructured, just off the cuff. There's no system. There's no style of play. It's just get the ball and do what you can with it. But we need to have some sort of structure in place. And if we get rid of Bruno and bring in players that more align with Amorim's system, then maybe we can go places next season. But I'm firmly behind them trying to sell Bruno. And I know the club, maybe behind the scenes, they really want to sell Bruno. But I think, like you said, they put on the front to say they want to keep him so that they can get more negotiating power. Because I reckon they could get more than 80 million from Saudi for Bruno, to be honest. Because if Saudi have been chasing him all these weeks, it means that they're very keen to get him. So we should use that to our advantage. And the fact that there's been reports that Bruno's been talking to Saudi for the last few weeks and minding over the offer with his family, that tells you that our club are very much open to selling Bruno. Otherwise, someone from the board like Omar or Ratcliffe or someone, they came out and said that we categorically are not selling Bruno. But I ain't heard no reports of the club coming out and making that statement. So obviously the club are considering that, and they need that. They need the funds to reinvest in the club. Like if we don't sell Bruno, then I don't see much transfer business. So selling Bruno is key to our transfer activity. I know we can sell Sancho, potentially Rashford, Anthony, but we're not going to get as much as we are potentially for Bruno. So I think United will be silly to not entertain any offers from Saudi for Bruno, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Of course, I hear your point of view. I am a bit 50-50 on the situation because there's so many players that have to leave Manchester United, and we're getting rid of our arguably some of our best players at the club in terms of talent-wise. And when I say that, I'm talking about Jadon Sancho and Rashford, and of course, Anthony's not one of our best players, and obviously Rasmus Højlund is not one of our best players, and Eriksen's leaving on a free. We're looking to get rid of Casemiro. I just think it's too much players, especially Bruno, as important as he is to the squad, because he's got so much. He's still got something to offer to Manchester United, and which is of course Jerome, the GAs. He's arguably the most creative player in the Premier League. In the last 5 years, and the stats says it as well. Sky Sports pull up the stats, and he's number one in terms of most chances created. And I feel like we haven't gotten the best out of a productive Bruno because he's been part of the scumbaggish teams that doesn't really get the best out of anyone. I think it's just too much for us to try and compensate if we was to get rid of all these players, including Bruno, because it's about who's going to come in, who's going to replace his numbers and give us a performance, not just replace his numbers, but give us that performance. Be that orchestrator, create these opportunities. We need that Vitinha that we saw on the weekend. We was just super jealous that they have a player like that left Wolves and went down there. We need people like that on the ball who are just press resistance, can come out of it at any tight situation. You get me? Did he look like he's nothing when it comes to tight spaces? No, did he? You get me? You get me? But yeah, no, I just think, in my opinion, I still feel like Bruno still has a part to play. It's crazy coming from me because you know how much I criticize Bruno. You know my feelings on Bruno. If Manchester United wasn't losing so many players and it was just Bruno they were selling, and yeah, I'm all up for it. But it's because we're in that rebuild, and there are some players that I feel like need to stay in order to help facilitate that rebuild. And then next season, you can shoo him off once you get the ideal replacement, because if we're not getting someone like Florian Wirtz, for example, to replace Bruno Fernandes in that midfield, what's the point? Because who else can we bring for that player to replace his numbers? I know Bruno's a problem. Bruno's always been a problem. He never turns up in big games. And I'm hoping the rebuild, when we actually have a proper squad, we bring in players who suits the philosophy of where the club wants to go to, the footballing style. I know Bruno as well doesn't really, really fit Amorim's style, but he can adjust to it a little bit, change his game a little bit, So I'm still I'm 50-50 when it comes to Bruno Fernandes.
I know what you mean. I get what you mean. Because my only thing is that next season you might not get no 80 to 100 million pound Saudi offer. It might be a case of we keep Bruno and then next season nobody wants him and then you're stuck with him. So that's why I think now is the time to just catch it. It's almost like, say for example's sake, I know it's not going to happen, but if someone said like 150 mil for Manu, you would take that and reinvest in the squad. That it's almost like that sort of thing. You can't turn down that sort of money.
Yeah,
with that money, with that Bruno money, you can get like 2, maybe even 3 players, just normal like quality players, no world class, no big names, just hard-working players to come in and sort out Amorim's system, and then we can start really building. I just think that having him for another season is just, you're going to risk that sell, and the club will be looking at thinking, why didn't we just get the £80 million for Bruno? Because there's no guarantees that we're going to finish in the top 6 next season, and if there's another season without Europe, well, it's going to be set back even further in terms of our rebuild, and it's going to be even harder to attract players because it's even a challenge now. To get the players that we want in, even though the club's working hard. So yeah, that's my thing on it. Like it might mean that we might have to suffer a little bit because we'll be missing Bruno's GA, but we've got to look at it long term. Like all this short term stuff is out the window now. We've got to look to the future, suffer a bit more, and work for a brighter future.
Yeah, I get you, and Jesse Artan said it as well. That Bruno sell here, he says it there. Bruno sell allows us to sign 2 to 3 players,
Definitely.
and I hope, if it was, but I think 80 million is not enough for someone like Scott, especially when it's Saudi Pro League. You've been buying players for like 100 million and that stuff, but when it comes to Manchester United, you want to start moving like we're dickheads, and you just want to pay less than what you're supposed to be paid. So in my opinion, I feel like if we can get Bruno sell for more than £100 million, that's why Manchester United are probably playing that tactical play of, oh, he's not for sale. But everyone has a number, Jerome. Everyone has a price, you know. Babes, can you stop the chat to me, please?
They definitely need to look at that. Yeah,
No,
you need to get over 100 M's for Bruno. I think Charlie will try coming with an £80 million bid as a first bid, and then they'll sit down and negotiate and bring it up. But it has to be over 100 mil. We've got to make sure we get as much as we can out of that Saudi deal because we're not known to be good at selling. So this is our chance. This new structure needs to show us that they know how to sell. So let's see.
I'm with you. I'm just a bit too minded, but I understand everyone's reasons. I cannot say no, don't sell Bruno Fernandes. I know the benefits that Bruno Fernandes sell will bring to the club, but I'm more like, can we sell the other Deadwoods first before we get to Bruno? Let's address the play that we don't really want here that you've looking to sell, those who've been on loan. Let's get the quick sell of Jadon Sancho out the way to see what we're working with. Let's get that sell of Rashford out the way as well before we get to that Bruno. So I hope Manchester United can long off the Bruno transfer until they sell Rashford, Anthony, Sancho, because I feel like they get that 100 million from those sales first, and then buy the players that you need. And then if we still need to sell Bruno Fernandes, I'm sure Ilal or whatever they're called, or they will probably come later on. I know they want Bruno for now for the Club World Cup, but they'll probably want him for the next season because, of course, they're the same team that was interested in buying Mohamed Salah, and that never went through, and that failed miserably. So they're all still looking for that marquee signing.
Yeah, that's why they're even more determined now to get Bruno because they missed out on Salah, who signed his new deal. So we need to pounce on that. If they're right, you wanted Salah, you didn't get him. If you want our Bruno, you got to cough up. So that's my mindset. I know some fans will want Bruno to stay, but I'm just looking at that money and the investment opportunities.
Yeah, I am too.
Because you know the thing is, Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, etc. They might get sold, but those souls might drag on throughout the summer, if I'm going to be honest with you. Those guys are not easy to just sell on. Whereas you've got Saudi queuing up, just ready and waiting patiently. They're dishing out deadlines. I think for Friday, they want Friday they want news on whether the deal is going to go through or not. So if someone's eager like that, well, you need to take advantage. But Sancho looks like they're still negotiating with Chelsea. Rashford is looking at Barcelona. And then Anthony, we're still waiting for offers. So those ones will drag on. So Bruno's looking at the most likely person to leave like first.
Yeah. And moving on from Bruno Fernandes, let's just go into this transfer that we before we get into the season review, because there's still some more to talk about. Of course, earlier on, I did post up in the group that Fabrizio Romano, before we get to Mbeumo, Fabrizio Romano tweeted that he understands that Inter has made contacts with Rasmus Højlund's camp in recent days as talk started for the Danish striker. As exclusively revealed 2 days ago, Højlund is one of their main options. I'm so shocked after they didn't not lose that Champions League final and they couldn't score, and they want to get this striker that can't score goals. I said videos of him playing in, I think, was it Hong Kong or Malaysia, and his first touch.
Yeah,
wow.
Malaysia.
Yeah. But they said Højlund is one of the main options on Inter's shortlist with Palmer's, Bunny, and more. I really hope they're taking some drugs when they buy Rasmus Højlund when they make that bid, and I hope it's a mad bid of 40 to 50 million because he's still young enough for a resale value. Even though, to me, in my opinion, Jerome, he has no resale for what we've seen in the last 2 years, especially this season. He's been absolute crap. So whatever cocaine or crystal meth of hard drug that Inter are on, stay with that drug until you buy the player, bro. Don't come off that drug. I know they just lost to PSG and they're drinking and they're taking some hard drugs. Continue doing that throughout until you buy Højlund, until he reaches and you sign the shirt, he signs the contract, and everything is done. Ain't no way I can't believe that people want Højlund. I can't believe it. What's your thoughts, man?
I'm shocked.
We want him gone. For those who are watching, smash that like button, but we want him gone. Jerome, let's hear what you have to say.
To be honest, I thought that if we get rid of Højlund, it would just be a loan deal. Because I can't see anyone paying like money for him because he hasn't shown anyone this season that he's worth taking a punt on. But obviously, we bought him from Italy, so maybe the clubs in Italy know more than we do. And probably that's why they're interested. Because I heard that Juventus were looking at him as well, and I was thinking, Juventus, these top clubs in Italy,
yes,
want him. So
yes,
they definitely see something that we don't, and they see maybe it's the age thing. They think that there's still potential there to improve, and maybe the Premier League just not for him because there's certain players that they can't adapt to certain leagues.
Yeah,
one of them. But if they're coming for a bid, if I could, I'd fly him there myself because I was just shocked because I was just all season we've been complaining about Rasmus Højlund, saying that he's always on the floor, his first touches. He's never in the right position to take shots. He can't control the ball. He basically can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost just like, why have we got this player here? So in reality, he should really be the first one out the door. Like really, like if we're being like really like ruthless. But it's just all about getting someone that's interested in buying him. But if Inter Milan, if that is concrete, we need to ship him out ASAP because it's been embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Up front. I think we finished on what was it minus 10 goal difference in the Premier League, and then -1 the season before. We finished on minus goal difference in the Champions League last season. Too much minuses, like because we're not scoring goals. And people are saying that people don't pass to Rasmus, but that's because he's never in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do pass him, he doesn't shoot and gets tackled. So it's almost like, why are we going to pass to you? You're not going to do anything with it. So I think the team's actually just lost faith in Rasmus. So I think if the opportunity comes for him to leave, he needs to leave because we need to revamp that front line anyway. Because it's been 2 seasons in a row now with minus goal difference. So something's got to give on that front.
Yep, and he gets to get the hell out of here, bro. And I will be the first one. In fact, I'm surprised Man United didn't knock on Inter Milan's door as soon as I saw that. Fabrizio Romano tweet. They should have been knocking on doors. I heard you wanted Rasmus. He's right here, by the way. Do you want him? Bring him. Straight out the gate of Inter. Like, as soon as you heard that news, before even the news dropped, knock on their door like, hello? Yeah, man, I heard you wanted Rasmus Højlund. Fabrizio tweeted that he was interested. We're still waiting for the David Austin tweet because he's more 100% accurate. But Fabrizio, he's tier 1. I'm sure he's right. Take him right now. How about that? Let's have this meeting right now. But yeah, moving up from Højlund, let's talk about the other news. Mbeumo, let's talk about it because, of course, just not long ago, 33 minutes ago, I didn't even get the time to post it on Instagram, Red United TV's page. Make sure you guys follow Red United TV across all social media platforms. Smash that like button, become a member to support the channel as well. Click on the description for the link tree. You'll find all the platforms that Red United TV on, but most importantly, follow Red United TV on Instagram, Red United TV 1. I will post this up later on once the show is done, if it's not too late. But David Austin, David Austin, he only tweets once. He's a guy that just hits it and quits it. He doesn't repeat, doesn't retweet, doesn't go back for seconds. I feel sorry for ladies if you date him. He's a hit it and quit it guy when it comes to his thing. So yes, he's tweeted exclusive. Bryan Mbeumo decides he wants to join Manchester United. And Manchester United now expecting to open talks with Brentford in bid to sign a 25-year-old for this summer. And the likes of AFC, which is, I think it's Arsenal Football Club, MUFC, which is Newcastle Football Club, and Tottenham Hotspurs or interested about the Cameroon international favoured Old Trafford if the deal is agreed between both clubs. And Mbeumo this season, he's for a player that plays for. Let me get his stats up. I've got his stats for this season. For a player that plays for Brentford, and since Ivan Toney has left this season, brace yourself, Jerome.
He stepped up.
38 matches in the Premier League, 20 goals and 7 assists.
That is
20
brilliant.
goals and 7 assists in the Premier League, you know.
That's more than anyone in our team since Van Persie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Even more than Rashford. I think Rashford's the most he's got in the Premier 17. So he'd actually come in and upgrade us. Imagine that, a player from Brentford coming in to improve us by a long way.
Exactly. So your thoughts on Mbeumo? Because this one, if you told me this a couple of months ago, I'd have been like, can you stop trolling me, please, man? Like all these players. You see how I changed? Because I've seen where we finished. I've seen the reality of where we finished. We are 15th. We finished 15th. And I looked at Mbeumo and said, you know what? I changed my mind. 20 goals. And he works extremely hard, you know. And I feel like it's the type of players that will fit into the Ruben and Amorim team, industrial players now not too big-headed with big egos, who are on the verge of making it to the next step of their career. 25-year-old Mbeumo is. I feel like it's going to be a good signing for Manchester United if they bring him to the club. A workhorse as well, someone that can score goals and doesn't have a big ego, you know, that will probably just be extremely happy to sign for Manchester United and play for the badge, you know, because he doesn't have that ego. He's not a big-time player. He knows who he is. He knows his job. And I like players who knows their role and don't do their job and do not make a fuss about it and don't have an ego. I like players like that, and we need more of those players as well. And obviously, we do need players who have big egos, you know, like the Cunhas and all that stuff, the dogs, you know, because I consider Cunha like a dog. Like he doesn't give a shit. He will get at the opposition. He will nag in their ears, and he will then score a goal. And I like players like those Eric Cantonas and those Wayne Rooney that's got fire in their belly. But Mbeumo seems like a calm guy, Cameroonian. You know how I feel about African players as well. We never do well with African players. So it could be a risk. But I will take it and see how Mbeumo comes in. And I know if we sign someone like Mbeumo, it's not going to be a lot of money. It's probably going to be about 30 to 40 million. And it could be a main star or a squad player. But I can see that Cunha and Mbeumo in that 210s. And both of them can play up front, especially Mbeumo. He's quite versatile. What's your thoughts on Mbeumo? 20 goals this season, 7 assists in 38 games for Mbeumo.
You know what? I can't lie. If we got Mbeumo, I'll be gassed. Because I know like certain fans that early in the season were like, well, we'll be linked with Mbeumo and Delap and all of that. I was like, you don't need to humble yourselves. Like, we're not at this level to be like targeting the players that Man City and Liverpool are getting. Like, we're not at that level yet. So we need to humble ourselves. So it looks like now we're going on the route of looking at that Premier League quality players that are used to the Premier League and that have got a better chance of slotting straight in instead of buying unknown quantities from across Europe that might come in and might take more time to adapt to the league. So Mbeumo could just come in and hit the ground running. And I've seen him since we've been linked with him. I've been watching a bit for Brentford, and he looks like he's got a lot of conviction. Every time he scores, it just looks like he means business. It's not like these scuff shots or like looks like Hoyland where it just looks like he's just struggling to get the ball in the net. He just looks like he knows where the goal is. He's good at headering the ball as well. He's strong. He's got pace. He seems to be able to like get into the right positions to score goals as well. So he's got a good reading in the game, and I think he'll improve our attack lineup tenfold. So I'll be happy if he gets him. And that is another, if we do get him, that again shows you that despite United's struggles of last season, we still got the pool. We still got that, you know, that X factor. Like, I know obviously we missed out on Delap because I know that we did really want him, but that's just one player. Like Cunha could have went anywhere in the Premier League and he chose us. And potentially Mbeumo is going to come as well. So it just shows you that we're still a force to be reckoned with. And if we get all these good quality signings in, then yeah, I think we're gonna. And because we're playing one game a week as well, we've got a good chance of having a good consistent run in the league. Like I know I said like top 6 should be the aim, but you never know. If we get the signings right and the outgoings right, we could be pushing the top 4 challenge. Hopefully that there's another top 5 for the Champions League. And if it's top 5, then it makes it easier for us, innit, to try and qualify for Europe. But with those signings, we could definitely get back into me. I don't care if it's not the Champions League. We need to get back into the Europa League at the minimum, because we can't have 2 seasons without European football. Like we're a global team, innit? We need to be representing European football. So hopefully, yeah, with that signing, that can help us. Because I think, in all honesty, that when you look at our team from back to front, apart from the goalkeeper situation, we know that Anana's trash. I think if we sorted out our front line, we'll actually be okay. It's just our midfield and our front line that need the most attention, apart from the goalkeeping situation. So it looks like we're strengthening in the right areas now. Because before, under Ten Hag, we spent like 600 M's, but we always thought that we were short in places. But now it looks like we've got a proper football structure in place that are targeting the right players to strengthen the team. So I'll be happy, to be honest.
Big up, of course, Jesse Upton that says that he feels like, I feel like signing Mbeumo would be one of the most important signing in the window. Jesse also said that, and he's a penalty set piece specialist also. Big up Next Gen Sports Hub. They said, will Bruno give Cunha passes? It's my issue, LOL. And will he compete with him for GAs? And of course, why can't we compete for the titles if all these signings are just to finish in the top 8 means we're all whack? To me, at the moment, like I said before, we just finished 15th. And the reality of where Manchester United is the true reality, 15th. Because again, last season was a facade of a lot of things. We scraped wins, we scammed it as well. And this is the true reality when the scamming is not working anymore. Which is true. Yeah. And even Jerome, he said top 6. I was thinking, whoa, Jerome. You're above your expectations. I'm thinking top 8. Let's reach the page 1 of the Premier League, because our aim the whole entire season we was on page 2. Let's get back to page 1, which is the top 10. Let's see if we can do that. And I understand when we sign these players, people are gonna be like increasing the expectation of where that we finish. But I'm urging Manchester United fans, don't do that to yourself. You're going to end up upset. Let's just aim for the first page of the Premier League. Let's get into the top 8. Let's get into that European position that Jerome was talking about, whether it's the Europa League or the Conference League or the Champions League. Let's get in there. And because we're playing one game a week, this allows Amorim to actually work on his philosophy, that Manchester United, to work on his play. So it's because it's set 6 days of training.
Yeah, literally.
And 1 game per week. So we need to see a refreshed Manchester United causing problems in the league, because we're only playing in the FA Cup, League Cup, and the Premier League. So if I don't see that, I'm getting at them, Jesse Upton just tweeted from Ben Jacob, who's also credible. A formal bid is expected to be made soon from Manchester United, with Brentford seeing around 50 million. I reckon that's going to be split payments 5 years down the line, 10 million here, 10 million there, 10 million there, 10 million there. Because the way we are, or the way we need money, we definitely did. Let's get away from the news, because we haven't even done the keep or sell. Just quickly, Jerome, in your opinion, let me get your overall opinion of this season. Let's not take too long, so we can have some time to do the keep or sell season. Of course, let me get your player of the season, most improved player of the season, and the donkey of the season as well, with your overall thoughts of the season.
Those are some tough questions, because this season's been abysmal.
Yeah, I know.
He's been the player of the season. That is a tough one, because Bruno was poor for the first half of the season. The second half he improved, and obviously disappeared in the final. So who would I say is most improved or consistent? I'll probably say Mazraoui. I would say he's Mr. Consistent, nearly always available. I don't really see him do much wrong in terms of mistakes. Wherever he's asked to play, he plays. So yeah, I'll give it to him. To be honest, in terms of donkey, who would be donkey? There's been a lot of donkeys in this team, so that's a tough one.
Is it a tough one?
It's a tough one.
Your donkey of the season, the worst player. That's not tough for me.
You know the first one that comes to mind, Onana.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Every time I see clips of Onana and goal, it makes my blood boil. Like literally, when I keep seeing these field comms.
Especially when we can see that goal, whether it's his fault or not.
Yeah, it's between him and Rashford because before Rashford got loaned out, he was absolutely atrocious. But I'm gonna have to. Well, it's between. Yeah, I just see the chap. When I saw Rasmus's name, I almost put him to the. No, I gotta give it to Rasmus.
Of course,
I gotta give it to Rasmus. I got to. I was trying to see who was, but I can't go past Rasmus.
Because if you was gonna give it to Rashford, Jerome, I'll be thinking you got some mad agenda. The guy left us in January, man. If he said Rashford, I'm like thinking, bro, there's other people.
You know what? Yeah, with the Rashford thing still lingers, isn't it? That's the only thing. But no, there's been so much poor showings, but I've got to give it to Rasmus because he went 21-0 without scoring.
Yep.
That's like equal to Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. Literally. I was battling the group, and then I think it's now like 3 goals in 30 something games.
Yes, 3 goals in 33.
Yeah, and he couldn't score against a Malaysian All-Stars.
Malaysian All-Stars, Hong Kong team. Hong Kong himself, the country.
Yeah, literally. Hong Kong. And I think the ranks 150 something in the world. I was just like, Rasmus. There's been a lot of donkeys, but Rasmus. Yeah, he has to be the top of the list. What was the other one? Most improved.
Most improved, yeah.
I would say most improved. Who's actually improved in this team? I know people that are saying, why would we Amorim him if no one's improved? But I'm not even Amorim in or out like that. I just think he deserves a summer window. But improved? Who's improved? Actually, I'll give that to Lenny Yoro. I think he's one of the most improved players because when he came in, he was a bit pop player and he's looking a bit shaky. I wasn't too sure, but now he's growing into the role now. And his confidence is building, so I'll give it to him. And I've got those 3. And what was the other one?
So you got player of the season.
So player of the season. Player of the season. That's a tough one as well.
Very hard.
Because Ahmad's been good, but he's been injured for quite a lot of it. Player of the season. I can't give it to Bruno because the way man was missing against Spurs. Player of the season. I'm gonna give it to De Ligt.
Wow.
I think De Ligt, I think he's the future captain. When Bruno goes, eventually, give it to De Ligt. I don't remember seeing De Ligt do a lot wrong, and when he's in that defense, the defense seems a lot more calm. Obviously, apart from Onana that messes things up, I think De Ligt's been good, to be honest. But obviously, overall, it's been a poor performance. So there hasn't been anyone to mind that I could say has been a massive standout. But I'll just edge it towards De Ligt, to be honest.
Okay, I've got that. So I've got Next Gen Sport that said his worst player of the season is Rasmus. Player of the season is Bruno. Most improved is Joshua Zirkzee as well. Next Gen said he is the issue. We lost out on not on Anna because we are not scoring goals. Goals win games. That's what obviously he's talking about Rasmus right there. Facts. Give De Ligt the captain. Says Jesse Uptown. Next Gen says De Ligt gave us more errors to goals than Onana this season. And no, I think those 2 errors was when he pulled out injured and then we conceded some goals after that. As soon as he happened twice.
He did make
some. But De Ligt did make some errors. Yeah.
But he has been, apart from those errors, he's been quite consistent. Considering this is his first season coming in.
For me, obviously I'm disappointed with the whole entire season. I can't say this more. I've said it throughout the whole podcast, and I don't really want to dwell on it too much because I want to get to the keep or sell before we get to the hour mark. But in terms of my player of the season, I think I'm going to have to give that to Amad Diallo, regardless of the injury. I could easily give it to Bruno, but no, I'll give it to Amad because he's been very impressive. He's improved. I could put him in most improved, but in my opinion, most improved. I'm going to go with next gen. Xerxes has improved as the season went on and showed me that he has that quality. The donkey of the season ain't no way, but I would love to give donkey of the season and the worst player of the season at the same time, so I will do that. Donkey of the season has to be Andre Onana in goal. Worst player of the season, Rasmus Højlund. And yeah, that's all I've got to say, man. Like, again, I want Rasmus Højlund going. Onana needs to go this season as well. Hope we sign a new goalkeeper. Yeah, I need that change. Now, Jerome, let's get straight into it. For those who are watching, make sure you continue smashing that like button as we're coming close to the end of the show. We're about to do the keep or sell. So get yourself involved in the keep or sell as well. Let me just share the screen and get that screen up. Let's get to it. If we can be as quick as possible, obviously we go with combined agreements. Let me just close that. You can see the screen, John, can you, yeah?
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
All right, let's start off with outside buying the... Are we're selling him, innit?
Yeah, we've got to sell him, man.
Yeah, when
he comes in to deputise for Onana, he's just as bad. So you got to get rid.
Yes, and then of course next Lenny Euro are we in agreement to keep?
Yeah, it's a definite keep.
Definite keep. Diogo Dalot now. How are you about him? You know,
Diogo Dalot.
Are we keeping?
I would probably keep him as a bench option. Because I think he's okay. He's not great. He's not going to lead us to titles, but yeah, coming off the bench, covering games here and there, that's all right.
We'll keep him for now on the verge of maybe selling him next season.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw now. Luke Shawarma.
Luke Shaw, that is a definite sell. What? Nobody wants him.
Obviously, Johnny Evans has left on a free transfer. Yeah. Mason Mount himself, like, for next season.
Mason Mount. Mason Mount.
I just
we've got to try and sell him if we can.
I just don't know about him. I think it's been a waste of money that we spent. We could have avoided that. Now, this is the 50-50 mark. Are we keeping Bruno Fernandes or are we selling Bruno Fernandes? I'm on a cheap section. You're on the sell. I'm on a keep set for this season.
We need to cash in and get that 100 M's, huh? Otherwise, it's zero. There's nobody's coming out. Saudi's good. So see how quick Saudi coming for Bruno? They'll be quick to move on from Bruno.
Let me get a third opinion. You're on the sell. I'm on the keep. Next gen. Bruno Fernandes, since you're the most active right now, type in. Let me just get one of the
deciding votes.
The deciding vote. You guys can make the deciding vote. Bruno, keep or sell? Let me know, guys. Let me know next gen. Bruno sell for 100 million. Oh my god, I've been outvoted. I can't believe this. I can't believe so it's Bruno a sell. Bruno got a goal, but Diogo says, all right, say no more. Christian Eriksen is leaving. Now Casemiro, keep or sell?
That was, I know the group chat said he's got to go. If we had qualified for the Champions League, I would have kept him for a season, but because we haven't qualified, he's got to go. We need to cut down the wage bills. Playing one game a week and earning 350k a week ain't justified. We need to trim the squad down and trim the wage bill down to account for not being in Europe. So yeah, he's got to go.
And Manuel Ugarte, are we keeping or selling?
The jury's still out on him, but I'll keep him to see how he gets on for his second season.
I think so far I haven't been that impressed. Season. I've been impressed with him with his getting the ball back and etc. His energy, he's relentless, and I think we need that in the squad. I think he'll go a long way. But to start, in terms of progressive passing, we need a better player than him, and you can see why PSG got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. They just sold us him and got in Neves, and I was watching that Champions League final. I was just thinking, they finessed us. But yeah, he'll be a good squad option, but not to be starting.
What about Kobe Mainoo? I'm on a keep. I don't really want to get rid of Kobe, and I feel like he's still young to learn.
Yeah, I think we should keep Kobe, but if he keeps asking for 180 grand a week, then we need to sell him. Because
And
you
Tom
don't need
Heaton.
players that are money hungry. Tom Heaton, sell him.
So
He's just
I got the
he's more or
comments
less
as
at the
well.
coaching. He might as well just stay and be a coach.
So Fabric drained a bit too late and says keep Bruno. Jesse Uptown, whoa, keep Cassie for the experience and the team morale. I get that. But again, it would be nice to keep the experience to train someone else, but we don't know.
He just earns too much, man.
And he earns too much, and we want to reduce that wage bill.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not even going to bother entertaining this. This guy needs to go. Rasmus Højlund, go.
Yeah.
And Rashford, keep or sell.
Yeah. Rashford, we've got to cash in. His
Cash
time's
in.
up. It's been what, 10 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the 10 years, but it's time to move on. You haven't lived up to expectations.
And what about of course, Joshua Zirkzee?
Yeah, definitely keep.
I'll keep him. I want him to stay. He's shown me enough. Amad Diallo is a keep or sell?
Yeah, definite keep.
And Alejandro Garnacho, the controversial Garnacho.
Yeah, he needs to get sold and cash in. He thinks he's Ronaldo and he's a Temu version. So sell him on.
Yeah.
I don't like that attitude
that he showed recently as well. Yeah. We can't encourage this wrong attitude that we don't need this at the moment at the club. We need people who are positive, that want to play for the team and don't cause any more problems. We're tired of the drama, we're tired of the soap operas. You know, like I said before, we called it keeping up at Carrington. We're tired of that. We need to cancel that show. But yeah, Anthony.
He spends too much time on socials as well. Like, it's just too much.
Anthony's a definite sell. We don't want that.
Anthony needs to, he needs to get sold.
Yeah. This one is going straight into the bin. This guy needs to get sold. He's cost us too much. Andre Onana needs to go.
Yeah. I'm sick of the sight of him. Yeah, he needs to go.
As you know, Victor Lindelof himself is played his last game.
Yeah.
Maserati.
No, it's definitely keep.
Yeah, he's impressed this season.
Yeah,
I think for 15 million. For 15 million, we got a good deal.
Yeah.
Delete, I am on the key. Yeah. You know, he's got a lot to offer.
It's definite key. Captain
what about this one? It's interesting. Harry Maguire, should we keep for another season or sell? Because we need.
He's only got a year left. He's under 1 year extension. I just keep him.
And considering that Evans is going, Evans has gone, and also Lindelof is gone, which I don't see him on the list.
Lindelof got released, didn't it? Contract.
I put him down the list. And the Sandro Martinez now, I'm a bit 50-50. This guy's getting injured. This is the second time in he's been here 2 years, and he's always had long.
That was 2 years. You know what? I think I actually like him. I rate him highly.
Yeah, yes, we do.
But I think
availability.
If an offer came in, a good offer, 50 M's, we need to sell him because he seems like he's injury prone now. Since he's had that serious injury, it seems like one injury or one knock can just trigger more injuries, and he could end up being like another Luke Shaw. Hope not, but he's been out too long. So if we get a good offer comes in, sell him.
Yeah, but for now, what are we saying? Because next season
for now, if he's going to be fit, on the basis that he's fit and ready to start, then keep him. But as I said that, I was almost thinking sell him, but I actually like him. So keep him. Keep Martinez. Yeah, keep him. Yeah.
I got next year on the chat that says Maguire to sell, but my reason for Maguire is just to stay for 1 season and help with the transition, and then at the end of the season. With Martinez, he also says next gen says Martinez sell. He is the rest of our defense is not suitable due to his glass leg, and I'm with him. But again, let's be realistic now. Next season, in terms of signing defenders, we need to sign midfielders. We need to sign strikers. I feel like we can still manage to keep Lisandro Martinez and sell him at the end of the season. Next season, I mean. So I think we'll keep for now. And with next gen, I'm with you. I understand. Yeah. But we'll think about the squad depth, and we're looking at a lot of players leaving. And Terrell Malacia is a definite sell.
Yeah.
Really, in reality, for the club. I'll tell you now, for those in the chat, if we was in a much more stable condition and we had the money to facilitate for all those transfers, Harry Maguire will be in the sell section. Yeah. Martinez will be in the sell section as well for those who didn't agree with Maguire being there. And who else do I see there? Diogo Dalot would have been in the sell section. Let's be real with you, chat. We're being honest. We're just thinking realistically of who we can sell and keep and who shouldn't be here. So that's our keep or sell. We're looking at it right now. In the keep session, we've got Lenny Euro, Diogo Dalot for the time being until next season. He will be sold. Manuel Ugarte, Kobe Mainoo, Joshua Zirkzee, Ahmad, Nazia Masarari, Delit, Harry Maguire, and Lisandro Martinez. We got rid of our attackers. We do not have an attack, Wow. And in the selling section, Altay Bayinda, Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes. I didn't want to sell Bruno Fernandes. I thought Bruno Fernandes can stay for next season and leave at the end of next season. But the chat said Bruno sell, and Jerome said Bruno sell.
It just shows you that because of the nature of the season that we had, there's going to be a lot more people wanting players to be gone than kept. So this is a true reflection.
And then you've got, of course, as I said, for Christian Eriksen, we know he's left, he's done. Casemiro, if we was in the Champions League and we needed that experience, we could have kept him. But 350k, as Jerome said, it's not justified when we're not in Europe. We're trying to reduce the squad bill and the squad age and the squad in general. Tom Heaton, we know he'll probably stay, but we want him to be sold. Rasmus Højlund, of course, in the sell section. Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony, Andre Onana, Victor Lindelof, and Terrell Malacia, all in the sell. I am going to save this and put it in the group chat as well. Download it, save.
Yeah, send it in the group. I want to see what they say.
Obviously, there will be a lot of people upset. Saying, what?
You're crazy. Be upset with Bruno and Rasmus.
Oh well. But it is what it is, man. Big up to everyone that's tuning in right now. Final thoughts, Jerome, before we end the show.
Yeah, final thoughts is that I'm optimistic about what we can do in the transfer window. And I'm just hoping that we can sell a lot of the dead wood, because I know that there might be one or two players that we wanted to get sold that might still stay. But I'm hoping that we can sell as much as possible, generate as much funds to bring in the right quality for Amorim, because obviously Amorim is going to be under a huge pressure to hit the ground running next season. So I told the man them that I'm giving Amorim until Christmas to sort this shit out. And if by Christmas we're still playing the same as we are now, then yeah, he's got to go. But yeah, to sum it up, this is a crucial summer window. Hopefully Amorim gets backed and gets the players for his system. And if so, then I expect us to have a decent run in the league and hopefully fight for the European places. But as of this season that's just gone, it's a season to forget. And I don't want to ever see a disastrous season like that again, ever. Like, we're just losing every week. That is not acceptable. Just teams rolling up to Old Trafford, not even playing there, not even coming out second gear and just winning comfortably. Yeah, that's got to stop now. So this is a clean slate now. And Deadwood got to go, as I keep saying. And yeah, we just need to make sure that we're more consistent, because we've not got no Europe now. We've got just one game a week, plenty of time to focus on our philosophy, and we should have a lot less injuries as well. I don't want to be hearing no excuses about players injured from playing one game a week. So yeah, so just got to enjoy the summer now, stress-free, hopefully, and yeah, just look forward to see who we can bring in.
Yeah, I'm with you. My final thoughts, guys, as well, like I said before, in the bad keep, so we have to be realistic, and we're thinking about next season as well. So please, for those who are offended of players that we've kept and players we have sold, don't be, don't be at all. We're just trying to have fun as well. And this is some of us generally feel like some of these players should be leaving. And it is always, but in terms of this whole season, for those guys, remember, we're back next week, Monday, to discuss more transfer news. I will be live as much as possible. I will be creating short videos for transfer updates, or 5 or 10 minutes videos as well to be uploaded. So make sure you guys follow Red United TV and subscribe to the channel. as well. And I will be uploading any transfer stories for the ops as well. So I will be venturing into a new horizon on Instagram by also talking about other teams, not just Manchester United, so I can continue to grow and attract new haters. I want new haters and bring them here on this channel as well. So it is what it is, man.
The more haters you get, then the more
get me. I want to be trolling the fans, the ops. I want the ops to hate me. So when we lose, they come straight to my channel to troll me. You get what I'm saying, man? It is what it is, man. But so we'll tune in next week, Monday again. We go again with the catch up. Hopefully, Manchester United have signed Bryan Mbeumo. I hope next season as well in terms of final thoughts. It's the signings are continue going. Bringing the players that we need, sell the players that we have to sell. That's the most important thing. Get rid of those deadwoods. I know some of them are living on the free, and it's going to be hard to get rid of some of the players out high wages, but we have to do what we have to do. Of course, big up Next Gen Sports Hub. I need to find out who this is. I need to know who it is. It says Cunha is, how much is Cunha's wage? I thought we were broke. Listen, we are broke.
Currently, it's 200K a week.
Whoa!
Yeah, 200K.
We must be selling Rashford and Jadon Sancho and giving them his money. That's a bit too much.
But to be fair, Cunha was earning 120K at Wolves, so that payroll sounds about right.
This person here knows us. Next Gen Sports Hub. I don't know if that's Uche, but Uche, I don't know if it's him, but Jerome giving Ruben till December is too long. You men have no excuses now. This person knows you because you said it's either they've been on the show before and you said until December is too long. So the fact that they remember what you said, they must know us. They must have been here before. And I know Next Gen Sports Hub, I've seen your comments before in the previous podcast. And they said it's about time. It is what it is, guys. Guys, enjoy yourself. It's been one hell of a show. And let me just finish off. Yeah, we cannot afford Victor Osimhen. I think we still can if we get rid of players. But yes, guys, it's been one hell of a show. Glad for the transfer news that's coming in here. As always, like I said before, smash that like button, share across all social media platforms, become a member of Red United TV by clicking on the membership button to help support the channel. As well, follow Red United TV across all social media platforms by clicking on the description and clicking on the Linktree link, or follow Red United TV on Instagram, Red United TV 1. Follow Jerome as well on Instagram, which is Jerome.
Yeah, J Williams.
J Williams. That's it right there. And of course, he will be tagged onto any snippets that I post up on Instagram, so you can follow him there from the videos. But until next time, it is what it is. As always, guys, it's the transfer window, and it's the most exciting time of the year in the summer. Let's enjoy the next 6 weeks until hell comes back to us. As always, like I like to end the show, remember to keep it united for all of you. But most importantly, remember to keep it Red United. We are out. We'll see you next week, Monday, for the next podcast. Peace.